Open it up, dude. We're back.
You
Week
hear that
3.
crack? We got the mug.
Nothing better. Okay, let's
Root
talk
beer.
about that real quick. I'm gonna announce who we are, and then we gotta start the show off right. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Cold Ones Conversations. We are happy to have you. Shout out Philly drinkers. We're gonna get into them later. I'm one half of this dynamic duo coming for the $100 million deal. We're hitting at 53%. We're making you money. Those are professional numbers. That's what we do when it comes to NFL betting. This is Cold Ones Conversations. My name is Hollywood Hare. I go by many others, also known as Harry Heaps, my legal birth name. And I'm joined by my other part of the dynamic duo wearing a gang shirt. Shout out Theo Vaughn. Brendan the Bod Petrilli. Brendan, how you doing today?
Yeah, I hope you're watching the YouTube. You see this beautiful shirt from Philly Drinkers. The gang's going to the World Series again, Harold. Probably both, the O's and the Fightins. So you got to make sure you subscribe to the channel, tune in for more, because the content will be flowing as we move forward to the playoffs. But we're not talking playoff baseball today. That'll be next week. We got some stuff that needs to be shaken out over the next week or so here. Philly's magic number's 5. The O's are battling for that first spot with the Rays.
90 wins, brother.
For the top of the AL, they're battling back and forth. We'll see how it turns out this next week, but make sure you hit that subscribe button for more baseball talk as we move forward here towards Red October, baby, because it's going to be electric. But real quick, you heard it. We're hitting at 53% as a team, as a show, because guess what? Harry was the breaking news.
All right.
First one to go under 50% on the year. It's only week 2, though.
It's only
week 2. Started out hot. He was talking all this smack. He was going, 63%. I was sitting at 50-50. Now he's going under. I go above, and I'm the one carrying the show.
Ladies and gents, when we tell you that in a combination, as Drake once said, we're hitting at 53%, that means that more than 50% of the time you bet with us, we're making you money. You know what the percentage is to be a professional bettor? 52.5. We're not only covering that spread, we're going above and beyond at 53. A solid number, a beautiful number. God bless. But first, Trilly, I want to bring it back to the first seconds of the show. You're going mug, root beer. I'm a Briars guy. Where do you sit on that debate? Mug or Briars?
I've always been a mug guy.
All right, fair enough.
They've always been at the Taco Bell / what are
KFC breakdown.
Yeah, so you'd have them in there. The mug would always be there. I've always been a mug guy. Love the bulldog. You know what I'm saying? They're just adorable.
I've always been afraid that if I go into one of those Taco Bell, KFC mixed joints that's like combined, whatever it is, I'm always afraid a car's going to come through the window and I might not make it out alive. You know what I mean? I can see that happening. You're taking chances going into that place, dog.
You know what? It's a Petrilli family staple. When we would go up to Knoebels for camping up in the upper, I don't know, Elysburg or whatever, up in central Pennsylvania. Yeah, like we would always stop at the Taco Bell and the Taco Bell and the KFC.
KFC. Now, what do you do?
It was a staple.
You do
Long John Silver, and Taco Bell. That's what it was.
You doing Okay, so we're not talking KFC then. If you're going to a Long John Silver, what does that mean? You're getting
an LJ's. LJ's.
So what are you getting? That fucking Katrina salmon on top of that? You're getting a Baja Fresh? What are we doing?
Of course. That's the power special. Ask Tim Petrilli about that one. He'll leave a in the comments what his go-to meal was. You know
Katrina
what I'm saying?
Salmon with a Baja Fresh. All right.
But anyway, we got a jam-packed show here. We're gonna hit our picks. We'll recap week 2. In a second here, but make sure you go check out Philly Drinkers. We love them. Use my name at checkout for 10% off. We got to turn this mug here, this cup here. We got to figure it out. We got the cups on sale. The Philly Drinkers got the Cold One Conversation pint glasses. We've had a bunch of you guys reach out, tag us in your stories on Instagram. We love them. We'll reshare them every single time. Keep doing it. We love all you guys. But yeah, man, we're gonna hit our picks. We're gonna recap week 2, hit our picks, and then we're gonna do a whoa. I'm dumb moment of the week. We got to bring it back. But Harold, I'm going to be honest with you. I worked the whole weekend last weekend.
Working man.
Saturday, Sunday. I did 40 hours in 2 days. I don't know if it's possible, but I did it. All right. I was seeing Billy Idol up on stage hitting a little, and he's dancing with myself, and he was awesome. He was awesome.
That concert looked tremendous.
It was sick. Down in the pit, working for MMR was a good time. Hardworking man here, but I didn't get to watch much of football on Sunday. So you give me a little bit of the recap. The Birds won on Thursday night, so I had my feet up at 2-0. I can relax. We let our guys get healthy. We let us get healthy.
We're two of the only birds, dude. We're the only birds flying it undefeated right now in this league, dog. I mean, there's only a few teams.
Factor fiction,
and we don't fact check, but we do give you the fiction all the time. But right now, we're not giving you the fiction. 2-0 is 2-0, brother. Let's bring it through. We got to go back to the playbook in the next couple of weeks. We got to get a fastest 2 minutes or something like that going on. Maybe we'll do 3.5 since you and I like to drown on. But let's go ahead. Let's start it with the biggest disappointment right now in the NFL. And that's gotta be the Denver Broncos.
Oh.
I mean, these guys are now 0-2. Sean and Peyton. No, that's the big. Don't throw me off. That's the most exciting part of the NFL. We're going to get to that in a moment. But the biggest disappointment in the NFL right now is the Denver Broncos. These guys are 0-2 at home versus Washington. Sam Howell with the space conductor, NASA, Tom Hanks, the rocket ships going down, helmet playing, beats them 35-33. Russell Wilson praying to God with that Hail Mary pass. Couldn't get it done with the 2-point conversion. Definitely was a holding call. Wasn't called. Whatever. Point being, dude, is they're in trouble here, man. I mean, you can tell that Sean Payton, obviously you didn't get to watch the game. It was a 4:00 game. The way that they replayed Sean Payton on the sidelines, looking not only at the Hail Mary pass and how he was like pissed off, number one, that his team was in that position, but you don't even see him react when clearly he had a case to make that there was no holding call made. And no matter what, week 2 or not, you're in a game time moment to tie the game, force overtime. You're a coach, a Super Bowl winning head coach. You see that your receiver gets held. There's no flag at the end of the game, and you just walk to the tunnel. He doesn't even go up to protest with the refs. He is so done right now, dude. He is so shot right now, dude. I mean, and this goes back to a conversation that you and I were having a couple months ago. What is going to be the camel that, or I can't even think of a phrase right now correctly. God, I just had a brain fart there. What's going to break this camel's back here, dog? I mean, are they going to stick with Russ? Are they going to stick with Sean? This week 3 game, dude, we're going to preview it in a little while. We'll talk about that later. This is a life or death moment, dude. I mean, you're starting out 0-2, and you've got a massive amount of money invested in the guy who's under center, and you've brought in now the guy who's supposed to essentially reshape this team fundamentally after you were the laughing stock of the league last year, next to the New York Jets. Dude, I know you didn't get to watch the game, but after those facts, and we don't even fact check here, what's your takeaway from that, man?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Their biggest thing was their defense was so good last year, right? It kept them in football games. If they scored above the league average of whatever it was, like 17 points last season, we don't fact check here, but they would have won. They would have been in the playoffs if they would have scored above the league average.
Yep.
And that just wasn't the case last year because their offense was booty cheeks. We all know what happened. And that's what Peyton was supposed to come in and fix.
Mm-hmm.
All right, they put up 33 points in this game. What the fuck happened to the defense? Sorry, we try not to curse anymore on the show, but I mean, 35 points to Sam Howell at home. Like, what's going on here, man?
What's going on, dude?
That defense is supposed to have the talent to shut teams down. You can't give that up to Sam Howell, man. It can't come down to a Hail Mary. Is it the coaching philosophy has changed now because of the new head coach? Are they tired on defense? I don't know.
I'm wondering if Russ is flying back to Seattle and he's not getting used to that Denver air, dog. I mean, is he having trouble breathing? I mean, here's the thing that's crazy. You look at his body, right? I mean, we love to talk bodies on this show. We love to talk men's bodies. We love to talk men's bodies. You look at his fucking head from last season. I got my F-bomb in, you got yours, that's it. You look at his head last season, right? I mean, the dude looked like he was an inflated helium balloon. And he slimmed down. He gets in shape. You know, he's throwing the tennis balls left and right. He's doing all that action movement that they do with their trainers or whatever it's called, dynamic, whatever. He slims down. He's supposed to be able to win games, and they're 0-2. I mean, the question is, has Russ lost a step, or is Sean just not the right guy for this system? Because I made the point a few months ago.
Russ definitely lost a step.
Okay. You think that Russ has lost a step?
Maybe not a big step, a half a step.
But he's okay. So, but
instead of those dancing steps on the plane that he was doing, it's more like a half of that. You know what I'm saying?
He's not Russ. He's not Russ back-to-back Super Bowl guy. He's
a lot of people would say that was because of the defense and it wasn't because of Russ. Some would say that. That Legion of Doom.
Pete Carroll, but let me tell you something. You're not winning those Super Bowls without Russell Wilson.
No, I agree. I'm just saying. Some would say.
Some would say, and I would say that some are uneducated. But yeah, dude, I mean, we're going to preview it later on. That's the biggest hellfire hellscape. Let's hit the next game. Dude, week 2, a team that I got to say right now is struggling. The reigning Super Bowl champions winning on a field goal against your Philadelphia Eagles last season, dude. They narrowly escape a game on the road to Jacksonville. They win 17-9. Brutal game, dude. Absolutely brutal game to watch.
Yeah, from what I saw, it was a hard-nosed football game. The Jags weren't able to punch it in the red zone, though. That was the big
they couldn't
thing.
Get it done. And God, once again, what do I say every time on the show, Trilly? When the crowd's going one way or an over on the under, I know you got to go the other way. And I didn't even touch that game. 51.5, you're thinking they're going to air it out the whole time. Didn't even come close to that, dude. Yeah. The under was phenomenal that game. But what's crazy to me, man, is I can't, maybe it's your first week back with the scheme of having Travis finally back in. You've definitely lost some pieces. We saw earlier this week, since that very, very brutal win, Patrick has restructured his deal. People are saying he's going to be underpaid. Number one, this guy's got the mind of Tom Brady. He's restructuring his deal so he can win it. He can win another 7 rings. But I'm going to tell you right now, man, the Chiefs are definitely going to be in that top 3 conversation in the AFC, but they definitely are not 1 right now. They are definitely not 1. You lose at home to the Lions, and then you barely beat Jacksonville, who's an up-and-coming team in the AFC on the road. Not the best look right now for this reigning Super Bowl team, dude. What do you think this is? Is it a loss of the receivers, of now a guy like Tyreek Hill and that loss catching up to Patrick, not having Travis? Are they going to bounce right back? Are people selling their stock? I think that they're fine, but they got some stuff to clean up.
I think their offense is the biggest worry.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, right? Yeah. With Patrick Mahomes, the highest paid player in the league again, all of a sudden, right, where that came out of nowhere in the middle of the season, when normally it seems like deals never get done during the middle of the season. That comes out. I just think it's just because you think that Patrick can get it done with anybody. Kadarius Toney stinks.
Yeah, he's bad, dude.
I mean, you lost your offensive coordinator and Eric Bieniemy. He's in Washington now, right? This year. He was a huge reason why they were able to scheme up plays and make things work with the guys that they were last year to go on a run to the Super Bowl. And you don't have that guy this year. I think it's figuring out a new offensive system with a new coordinator, with the lack of weapons. Kelsey was out. Your defense is still fine. I'm not worried about their defense. I'm not worried about the quarterback. It's just, can these guys step up and make plays? Because you can see Patrick can put the ball in their hands all they want, but they got to hold on to it. And they haven't been able to start of this year. Now, you're 1-1 moving forward. I don't think you worry. I think they still win that division, obviously, but it's definitely you can't let them figure it out on offense. If they figure it out on offense, then it's going to be
it's over.
Yeah.
Can I make the point that this might be, from what we've seen so far in week 2, this might be the easiest year for them to win their division ever? I mean, think about it. The Raiders can't get anything done in the long run. There's huge problems going on in Denver at 0-2. You bring in a new coach and you're not showing any signs of improvement so far, and you're in season. And lastly, dude, yes, the Chargers right now are 1-1, but or no, they're 0-2. They're 0-2, dude. And you're going 0-2 with a guy who he got the biggest contract, right? Or did Burrows or before Mahomes' restructure, right? Right. Yeah. But the point being is you've got a guy who just got the biggest contract in Herbert, and you've got a head coach who's 100% right now in the hot seat. What's crazy is that KC can afford to lose games and still win their division because of all the dysfunction that's going on right now there. And you wouldn't think so, given the level of talent that are on those other teams. I mean, dude, you've got Austin Eckler, Jerry Jeudy, Justin Herbert, Russell Wilson, right? You got Josh Jacobs. You're talking about guys that are game changers on their teams and others. And yet there is so much dysfunction going on with these other three teams that the Chiefs have this time to figure it out. It's just odd, I think, to us as viewers and guys that talk about this stuff to see the Chiefs struggling kind of this early. All right, let's hit two more games. We got to talk about it. The Thursday night matchup. We took the under, the over hit. Dude, I think that this game, I think we got to talk more about Minnesota here than we do have to talk about the Eagles, because the Eagles won.
I willed it, the over in that game.
We both took the under, though.
Now, if you go back and listen.
Go
back and
You're
listen.
Openly talking about fading us, dude. You can't do that. We're trying to win.
I said it during the pod that I was doing it out of solidarity to try to turn it around and get the overs going in prime time. Because obviously the prime time unders are fucking hot. Another F-bomb, it is what it is. And we move on, but they're hot right now. We're trying to turn it around. We won exciting games on prime time. We didn't have one this yesterday night, Thursday night. We're just going to put this out right away Friday, I think. So, but the Eagles go and they take care of business against the Vikings. This game was way closer than what the score indicates. I think anybody watching this game would know that. The Eagles team is just far and above better than that Viking squad, the depth, the talent, even with the injuries. Kirk Cousins was able to make a couple plays, but at the end of the day, if he has no time and he's getting guys in his face and getting hit, strip sack, picks, this Eagles defensive line is tough to stop.
It is, but I'm going to jump in and I'm going to say one thing here, though, dude. And don't get me wrong. The
Eagles scored 34 points where Jalen Hurts sucked.
And I'm not disagreeing with you there. And again, I want to talk more about the Vikings on this side, but I'm going to tell you right now, dude, it's early in season. You got plenty of time to make corrections. Your secondary has got to change the way that they play, dude. They gave the opportunities
I agree.
that they gave up to him and you look at right now the way that a team like San Fran is scoring, you can't make those. Now, it's only week 2. We're only going into week 3. I recognize that. I'm not selling stock, but I'm just pointing out the obvious. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Tag in.
Yeah. James Bradbury, your number 2 quarterback, was out in this game. You gave him the big money this offseason with Slay. He's supposed to he had a concussion. Nothing you can do. He'll be back Monday night. Supposedly, he's been practicing this week. Avonte Maddox, Torres Peck, your number 3 corner. Torres Peck in this game, or maybe it was week 1, I forget. But so you're missing your number 1 and your number 2 cornerbacks. Ed Reed Blankenship, your starting safety, was out in this game. You're missing 3 of your top starters in the secondary, and your biggest gripe was that the secondary didn't play well. Yeah, I agree. You had Josh Jobe, you had a bunch of undrafted rookies playing in the secondary for the Eagles, and you held Justin Jefferson. You let him do his a little bit there with 159 yards, but 0 touchdowns, fumbled one out the back of the end zone.
You locked up the right guy. And
the rest of the team couldn't do jack squat. So when it comes down to it, I 100% agree with you. Secondary just needs to get healthy. They'll be all right because this D-line gets after it and they get the job done. What does this mean for this Vikings team? Because Kurt threw for 364.
Yeah, this is what we got to talk about.
Yeah, Jefferson 11 for 159, but they couldn't stop the run. 175 from DeAndre Swift. Shout out to 215. F the prep. I mean, what does this mean for their defense? Their Vikings defense was supposed to be the past couple years the thing that would keep them in games. You needed the quarterback. Kurt throws for 4 touchdowns, 28 points, and you still lose when the offensive side of the ball for the other team. was not the best.
No, this Vikings defense was supposed to be what takes this team over the top the past couple of years.
Yeah.
I mean, especially last year, there's no question about it, when they utterly failed at their positioning in what they did throughout the regular season, and just, ending basically by pouring gasoline on themselves and setting themselves on fire. I do want to mention, dude, it is crazy how this Eagles defensive line, and then I'm not meaning to switch topics, but it's crazy how they force quarterbacks to throw the ball. You have two guys who picked up a total of 9 total yards rushing from Minnesota, while you got Swift, Scott, Hurts, and Penny all for the Eagles. Hold on. We got to pause this. This is an important call. Hold on. I got to take.
So the $100 million deal might have just went down.
Might have just went down. When we got to leave that in. Hold on, I got to take this. I mean, that right there. When you talk about business strategy, it's when somebody says, "Excuse me, I got to take this." Hello. I mean, right there. Point that I was saying, ladies and gents, is the way that this Eagles defensive line was able to shut down the run game. I mean, you never want your quarterback. One of the things that Trilly and I talk about all the time, you never want to force your quarterback to throw. And the thing that's so interesting about Kirk Cousins is, man, when he's forced to throw, he does step up to these moments, dude. Now, he didn't step up enough to win the game. Still lost 34-28. But, dude, like you said, what is it? 31 out of 44 passes completed, 364 yards completed. He threw for how many touchdowns? Yeah, well, he had 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. The thing that's crazy about him, man, is he can be extremely dynamic. And even when the chips are pushed down, dude, like, we're not talking about him being dynamic and having a bunch going for him. He's going against the juggernaut of the NFC right now. He's getting pounded. He has no run game to him. And yet, I mean, he doesn't. He has nothing going on for him where he can diversify his play, where he can get a second where he's not wearing out that arm, where he's not getting exposed, that somebody out of that Jodo, that Bodo line going to come up and eat up them rib cages. He's still getting that ball out. What do you think about him right now, dude? I mean, does he have a chance? Does he have a chance to lead this Vikings to greatness? Or does he need to be on a different squad to do that? Because the one thing that I will say is that this loss speaks more to his greatness than I think his wins do. When you tell a quarterback, I'm not going to allow you to run the ball for 4 hours, and you've got to step up and throw the whole time, and you have to throw no interceptions, and you've got to throw only touchdowns, and you do that against a team that rolled basically everyone barring their injuries in the NFC. What does that mean, though?
Well, I mean, Kurt had a fumble, like he and then Justin Jefferson had a fumble, like,
but
they had a lot
of him.
They had 3 turnovers in their first 4 drives. So I mean, this game shouldn't have been close from the get-go. Now, that it's not all on him, but coming out the second half, Josh Sweat comes around the corner, bang, right on the arm. Ball, Eagles ball, takeover. It was over after that. And
so he's a lost cause? Is he a lost cause? He's a puppy that's got to be put out to pasture? What do you think? I mean, did Netflix make the wrong move in picking him to be one of the quarterbacks? Is that what you're saying right now?
He's a nice guy. I learned he's a nice guy.
Oh, he's the nicest, dude. He's the nicest.
If he was on another team like the Raiders, Packers, Falcons, Seahawks, would he be doing better on those teams? I don't think so. I think he'd be doing the same thing. I think he'd be putting up good numbers, but I don't think they're winning.
How would he? Okay, so let me ask you a question. Would Kirk Cousins fit what Bill Belichick needs? Is Kirk Cousins that guy?
I don't think the weapons are there in New England that he has at the Vikings, though.
I agree with that as well. But does he need that head
coach? But that New England defense
that?
Would be great.
Would be this insane.
Yeah, with this offense that the Vikings have. That's the biggest. It's all this and that. You got to give it and take when it comes down to it. And teams like the Baltimore Ravens, the Philadelphia Eagles, the Kansas City Chiefs, they know how to figure it out and maneuver the cap and be able to pay their guys, keep depth at different positions, even when you're dropping guys left and right. Unlike teams maybe like the Cincinnati Bengals. the quarterback
Tee
gets
it
this
up for me,
big
baby. Tee
deal.
it up.
Like,
Tee it up, Trill.
this quarterback gets the big deal. He starts out 0-2. Now he's got the calf problem. He definitely has been struggling with it. He probably strained it again against this team. But a Ravens team that has made adjustments that we were, maybe just me, was talking a little shit last year. I mean, last year that they didn't know what they were doing in the front office. They kind of figured it out. Roquan's got a deal. Odell's in here now. Zay Flowers. Lamar's got his deal. And they're able to figure it out. The defense is rocking and rolling. The offense is figuring it out. They're trying to still click a little bit. If I were to say that, I don't know how you feel about the offense.
Oh, come on, dude.
But I think
mean,
this Ravens team is far and above what the Bengals team is, where the Bengals team should be right now.
Please let me take this away. And now rolling into I got 4 minutes on the board. Here we go. Rolling into, ladies and gentlemen, the most exciting game of the year. I mean, let's just say one thing. Week two, that was the best level of competition out of any game that was played. You got the Ravens and you've got Cincinnati. You got two dynamic offenses with good defenses and ridiculous coaches. I mean, let's just be real here. You've got Baltimore on the road going against a guy who was in a Super Bowl 2 years ago, going against Joe Burrow. You bring up Roquan Smith. I just want to give a hot take here real quick. Roquan Smith will be probably the only player that ever gets close to solidifying. He'll never be Ray Lewis, but he is the closest thing that we have ever had to another Ray Lewis. His lateral movement.
It's fantastic.
His lateral movement is as quick as most people's chopping it up straight up and down the field. The way that he gets to plays side to side, left end to right end of the field, by just facilitating that middle of the pack field, getting to the tackle either first or second. It doesn't matter. Roquan's there. We lose Odell Beckham Jr. in towards the end of the first quarter. Does it matter? No, it does not. We can't be stopped. Let's just break it down. I think that what has to be broken down here, though, Trill, I've never seen a game where an offensive coordinator and a quarterback clicked so much between just 1 week. Not a year, not 6 or 7. You look at the play designs that were made for Lamar week 1 compared to week 2. It's crazy, dude. Now, then again, yes, he did have his main target who got a tug. Mark Yange got a taste of the end zone. Without a doubt, Zay Flowers still being that guy. But, dude, I mean, Monken here is he the quarterback whisperer for Lamar? You look at this box score right now, 24 out of 33 passing attempts made. Look at
I think that's a good number for him.
It's a great number for him.
If you can keep him under 35 passes.
Absolutely. And that's to my point here, dude. The reason also why that happened is I've not seen Lamar extend plays like that since that 2019 MVP season when we went 14-2 in the regular season. The way that if the pocket ever collapsed, which, by the way, how good did that offensive line play while not having our starting left tackle and our starting center, Tyler Linderbaum? Absolutely ridiculous. I also want to bring up, I'm going from point to point. You know that the Bengals are going to be able to score when you've got guys like Boyd, Chase, and T. Higgins. And yet our secondary steps up, making play after play to keep points off the board. Zay Flowers is that guy. Lamar Jackson is the man, proving why he got paid. Second biggest takeaway outside of our secondary, because I know who Lamar Jackson is, but I did not know that Gus Edwards and Duvernay and Hill were all going to be able to step up like that after RIP. And I had another, dude, I'm dying here. I'm trying to get out these words. Who's my dog?
What?
Dobbins. After RIP and Dobbins, we step up.
Justice Hill might be out.
It doesn't happen. Please, can you just let the good stuff be said? God, the point is the Ravens go on the road in AFC battle 27-24. We don't stop. We're winning the Super Bowl. We're winning the AFC North.
This kid goes on and on and on.
It goes on and on about greatness. Yeah. About greatness. Either way, the Ravens are winning.
And Zoom just says, "See ya."
Book it.
But Harry was just on the phone during that. If you saw it, drop a like, comment where it was.
What do you think the
that the
conversation
$100
was
million
about?
deal might be coming, that we might be able to figure out a way where we don't have to worry about 45-minute time limits here, because we want to enhance the show and make it better. So that's what we're moving forward to here.
Enhance. Dude, friend of the
So
show.
we're hitting at 53%, Harold.
Yes, we are.
I think we're gonna skip over the whoa, I'm dumb moment of
Go
the week.
straight to the bets.
Yeah, let's just get into it. I got time constraints. I got places to be. I got 10-year-old birthday parties to go to. So it is what it is at this
Maybe
point.
we'll do a whoa 5-minute recording Sunday before Sunday Night Football. We'll throw it up as a little dive.
All right, I like that. I like that.
It too. I
had
too.
a good moment the other day. I had a good moment.
And the people got to hear about it, but we got to talk about bets first.
So you got to go and you got to make sure you subscribe to the show on YouTube. You got to subscribe wherever else you listen, Spotify, Apple, whatever it is. And you got to follow us on Instagram and on Twitter at COC Conversations. All right. Click that like button, click the subscribe button, follow us everywhere so you know when we're putting stuff out. Appreciate you. Let's get into it. 53%. We're making you money. Here we go.
Let's do it. Damn straight. Let's go. Let's do this. We are on. We are it. We are everything. Gun. All right. Let's start. I got excited. Let's start with the overs and the faves. No, you know what? We're getting the unders out of the way because you always want to fade them. So I'd rather do a build up. We're going to do unders and underdogs. Then we're going to do faves and overs. And obviously the HTLP, or sorry, the HTL and then the HTLP. All right, Trill. Let's start with your first under or underdog. Who you got this week? I will say week 3, I feel like Vegas is figuring it out. I like the lines here a lot more. I like the matchups here, understanding them a lot more. Love to hear your take on your first under or underdog.
Love my first underdog. +3.5 Tennessee Titans against the Cleveland Browns.
Ooh, break that down for me.
Browns just lost their running back, the guy that got them forward and everything. I mean, they just lost to your favorite team, the Steelers, where the Steelers didn't run a play on offense within the 30-yard line of the end zone, and they lost. The Steelers.
It was an AFC North battle. AFC North battle.
Oh, is that what we're chalking it up to?
AFC North battle.
I think Deshaun Watson stinks. I think he's Tennessee
a lot better than Kenny Pickett.
I think this Tennessee Titans team is decent. They're not great. I think they got a very good head coach that will keep them in football games. I think they win this game outright, if I'm being honest with you. I don't see how this Cleveland team has any signs of being able to throw the football to beat this Tennessee team that has been stingy on defense the first 2 weeks, a team that can run the football down your throat. I just like this Tennessee team. I do. I mean, against the Browns team that is just so bad the first 2 weeks. So bad. Give me the 3.5. Maybe they lose by a field goal because I see it being a 17-14 game.
What was the final score of that game, of that Browns-Steelers game? 22-26, 48 overall points. All right. I see where you're going with this. Yeah, and Tennessee's got that backfield in Henry. I like the pick. I'm going to go with, dude.
They just beat the Chargers. Like, they held that Chargers offense is way better. Way 100%. Better than what Cleveland can throw out there. They held them to 24 points. You think that the Browns can score 24?
No. I mean, dude, here's what I'm going to say, dude. There's no question about it. He's still figuring out his stride, but right now, Deshaun Watson's the number 2 quarterback in the AFC North. Yes, they could score. Now, Burrow is going to be that guy. You can't tell me that right now Kenny Pickett's better than him or the mistakes that Burrow has made are better than him.
I guess right now.
So going into week 3, yeah, that's a clip. And going into it, we're sticking with the AFC North. We're taking my first under, ladies and gentlemen. Sunday Night Football, 8:21 kickoff. It's a classic battle, one of the classics of all time. I'm taking the Steelers plus the 2.5. Listen, Trilly, I think it's crazy here to think that the Steelers are the ones catching points. Well, I'm talking smack, but I'm not going to talk smack against Mike Tomlin when he's going against the firestorm that is the Raiders. I'm not going to talk smack when it's the Steelers defense versus this ungodly offense that is the Raiders offense. I mean, come on, dude. Let's be real here.
What if Derek Carr was still there? Would you still be saying that about the Raiders?
Yes, because the Steelers defense right now is
They're phenomenal.
They're on a different level. They're on a different level. Yeah, they are. If the only thing that they have the Ravens beat on is their secondary, but their secondary is better than ours. Now, I would say that every other position we cover, with our defensive line, are pretty equal, but our middle linebackers, our outside linebackers, and our DNs, I think, are a little bit better, but their secondary is just it, dude. I think they're going to get after Garoppolo. I actually like a double play here. We don't usually do double plays. What do you think about this? What do you think about this under, dude? Under 43.5. I see this being a 10-12, a 10-13. I don't think that Vegas is going to be able to get down the field that much, dude. And we've seen Kenny Pickett has extreme limitations. Like, I will go on record here again, even though I'm taking the Steelers plus the 2.5. Kenny Pickett could lead Mike Tomlin for the first time ever in not having an above 500 season this year with the way that he's been playing. I don't care that he won last week, dude. He is not a good quarterback right now.
He didn't win. The defense won last week.
Correct. He didn't win. The defense won.
Najee Harris looks slow. Like that.
Yes.
That offense is brutal.
What do you think? So maybe I don't touch the over there because maybe that's where everybody's going. Maybe
I think you're probably right at 43. The primetime unders, you know how I feel about them. This is an ugly game on Sunday Night Football.
I'm just taking the 2.5. I'm just taking the 2.5.
Yeah.
You got to. The Steelers are covering this by a mile. They're going to win this game outright. I might even do an alter. No, I can't make them a favor. Take the 2.5. Take the 2.5.
I like the Steelers in the HTP. If when we get there in a little bit.
When we get there, I like that too. All right, I'm gonna hit it with another game. I'm doing another under, or I'm doing my next under or underdog. Listen, man, I think it's. I don't know what to say about this New Orleans game, dude. I think it's, to me, I'm trying to figure out what does Vegas know that we don't know? Because why is New Orleans catching points when they're 2-0 and Green Bay is 1-1? I don't care that Green Bay's at home. Carr's the better quarterback than Love. We don't know what Love is. What do you think that's about, man? Why are the Saints catching points?
Is?
Why? Great. So let's go there. Why are the Saints catching points?
I wanted to get to it in the breakdown of the last week's game, but time crunch. They don't know what they're doing on offense. They keep throwing the mic to Michael Thomas. Stop that. The guy's old. He's slow. He stinks. Throw to Chris Olave. Throw to that guy. The guy makes plays. He goes up. He burns guys. One-handed, bobbles it, catches it. Throw the ball to him. The kid is a stud. Get the ball in his hands as much as possible. Stop throwing to that bum, Michael Thomas. That's just the bottom line of it. They keep trying to force feed him, and it just doesn't work. And their offense is stale because of it. Open it back up again. Get the ball in Jamal's hands. When Alvin Kamara comes back in a week, get the ball into these guys that can make plays, because it's been so stale, and maybe get Jameis Winston in at quarterback, but that's for another time. But when it comes down to it, no, it's a good point. This line is really indicative of what Vegas thinks about these two teams, because I don't think would you say Green Bay's a good team?
It's a pick 'em.
Would you say Green Bay's a good team?
Not at all. Not at all.
And they're the favorite in this game.
They're the favorite here.
They're only the favorite because they're at home. So yeah, this is 100%. They're getting the 1.5 because they're at home. So what does that mean for the Saints team? I don't think they're good. I don't think Vegas thinks they're that good. I don't think they're the number one seed in the NFC, like somebody said on this podcast. We won't name names, but when we get down to it, I think they can come out 3-0 in this game also.
Yeah, I'm riding with them plus a 1.5, and they're getting that number one spot. They're going to be 3-0. They'll be the only team 3-0 with the Ravens this year. There'll be only two teams plus 1.5 Saints. Go.
On Sunday, because on Monday night, there's another team that's a favorite catching 4.5 points. They're going to beat them by 30.
Dude, what is up with back-to-back weeks, 2 Monday night games? I don't like it.
Yeah, that is weird.
Early in the season, dude, week 2 and 3.
They did it week 1 at first when they first tried it out. Right. And I kind of like that better because we got double dose of football on the back end of it. Now they're pushing it back 2 weeks.
I don't like it, dude. Monday night is supposed to be a primetime game. I don't like having a bounce back and forth. I'd rather have another game on
I have
Sunday.
a nice little TV setup. If you're following me at Brendan Petrilli, I put a video up. I got the one game here. I got the other one on the big TV, and then I got a little cube in the corner with picture in picture. If you know the deal back in the day.
The cube is where it's at, and I'm one TV Harry right now. I don't got that affordability like some. Yeah, I know. It's
one
a disgrace.
TV.
It's a disgrace.
Dude, but you see the rider. You see the rider's only one TV right now.
One
too?
TV. But that's why I got the MacBook. I got the MacBook and the iPhone Pro 12, which is about to get upgraded to a 14 on the house. Go ahead.
15. You got to go 15 at this
15,
point.
But
whatever number it is.
Hey, wait a second, though. Why would I spend the $200 on new cords when I could just get the 14 for free and not have to buy a single new cord still on Lightning? We're getting $100 million
Fair enough.
somehow, some way.
Fair
All
enough.
right, hit me with your next under, brother.
That's a great question. Because I was ready to talk a little Birds Monday night, but we'll wait for that because I think that might
you gotta wait for that, dog.
That might be something else.
Ain't the one catching.
1.5 Chargers. They burned us last week. But I watching this Vikings team up close and personal. 1:00 in Minnesota.
It's a must-win game for them. Must-win game.
Must win for both teams. Both of them are 0-2. It's loser leave town when it comes down to it. I don't trust either of their defenses really, but the Chargers have more names in Bosa and Mack and Derwin James and Asante Samuel Jr. I trust their team more in this stage of the game. I'll take the 1.5 Chargers on the road to get the first win, and the Vikings will be floundering after that.
I like that pick, dude. I like that pick. I think it's even more of a must-win game for the Chargers just because I think that they're the only point that I'll make is that their head coach is in more of a hot seat than anybody is in the Minnesota coaching staff. I mean, it's like if you're 0-3
with all that talent on that team,
with all the
Eckler
talent on that
will be
team,
back supposedly for the whole game. You got the offensive weapons, Herbert's with the big deal. They got to put up some points here. And watching that Minnesota defense, they should be able to put up some points.
Yep. Last game here, man. I like the under here. Buffalo, we didn't even talk about them last week. They had to have that statement game. They were -9.5. We both said week 2 they had to win it after that loss to the Jets.
They did.
Week 1, and they did. Bad weather is coming up this way. Canceled my trip to go see some family up in Central Jersey. I'm taking under 43.5. It's in Washington. They're going to get pounded with rain. We know what happens when Buffalo is in a wet game. They make mistakes. Allen's going to continue to turn the ball over. I don't think Sam Howell can score that much. I think that, again, I see this being a very, very tight game when it really shouldn't be. Under 43.5 because of the weather. Buffalo, Washington.
Does Josh Allen go play closer to week 1 or week 2 in this game?
100% week 1, if not worse. I could see Josh Allen having more turnovers this game. I could see him setting a precedent. 100%.
But he's got big hands. That ball's not going to slip out.
But he's not a 2-condom guy like Kenny Pick. I mean, come on.
Oh, now the 2 condoms okay when this situation?
For Josh Allen it is. For Josh Allen it is. If it's in my division, no way, Jose. Fair enough?
I guess.
We keep double standards here throughout. You know that, and I know that. There's things that you'd say about the Cowgirls that you'd never say about a team like Indianapolis. Or, excuse me, there's things that you would say about them that you never say about a team like Indianapolis. But you have to, out of the respect of the rivalry, the bad blood.
We haven't talked about Dallas.
And Steelers that have died.
I might have put out a tweet the other day at Brendan Petrilli that Dallas at, what was it, September 21st at 4:30 p.m., they're dead. They're dead.
You're unreal. Hit us with your last underdog. Come on. How do you like my pick though?
No, I like it. With the weather is a big factor. I don't love the Commanders this year. They're 2-0 to start it.
Off of flukes.
Yeah, against not great teams.
Horrible teams.
With you saying if this is an under game, I like Washington's chances.
I do too. Oh my God.
I feel like they're a team that can kind of capitalize on certain situations. But at the end of the day, I don't know.
You're
We're just betting
forcing
on
Allen.
points.
You're forcing Allen to throw in a bad weather game when he should be relying on a run game that he does not have.
Mm-hmm.
If that's your pick, dude, I like that. The 6.5.
What?
If you're taking the Commanders there, I don't think that's a bad pick.
No, I was thinking about it for sure.
I think there's some better underdogs or unders, though, I will say.
I'm just looking up and down.
I think that Carolina I think that Carolina game is a prime.
Well, they're having Andy Dalton play this week, right?
Moving on to the next. Yeah, I mean,
see, I don't know, man. I really don't. Maybe, no, not even. Patriots, see, like you look at the Patriots and Jets, right? 36.5 points. That's hard to take under that.
Yeah, no, you can't.
It's very hard. I'm kind of enticed to.
You can't trust that game
because I love both defenses. I love them, and I think both quarterbacks aren't that great.
Yeah, but mistakes will be made. We always say it when one team goes.
And defenses can score touchdowns.
Defenses
to jump that total up. You know what? Screw it. 36.5 under Jets Patriots.
Wow, holy dude, you're gonna be biting your nails. God, for a guy who doesn't like to root against scoring, geez Louise, dude, taking the under there.
We're not even gonna put that game on. That game's not gonna come on Red Zone.
No way.
We're not gonna touch it. 1 o'clock hour. There's gonna be too many other games on. We're not even gonna have to worry about it.
Hey. All right, putting that in.
Okay. But we want to transition now to our favorites.
Overs and
favorites and our overs.
Yep.
Yes, this is where it really comes down to it. We'll give our locks in a second here.
Take us away.
The one I love. I absolutely love. My first favorite. I like your Baltimore Ravens with Gardner Minshew going up. If this was Anthony Richardson, I think this game would probably be at 6.5.
I agree. Because he's real deal.
But it's 8.5 now with Gardner at the helm.
Yep.
I think he's due. He played okay coming in relief last week. That Ravens defense can be legit. What you were saying about Roquan is serious. I think this defense will be all over Gardner. They'll get after him. They won't be able to run the football as Zach Moss that much. I think Lamar's due for slinging the rock. No Odell. That hurts.
But doesn't matter, though, because you got Zay, dude.
Exactly.
Dude, Zay is kind of making it look like, why did we pay him?
Yeah. Zay Flowers.
Which is crazy to say.
The way he moves
is ridiculous.
Yeah. And the way you see Odell move, you're like, wow, you're
old.
Yeah. It's crazy what like 10 years makes it on a guy in the league. So I love the Ravens here at 8.5.
Dude, hey, you know what time it is. You know what's coming. It's an earthquake. We're both taking 8.5. I love it, dude. I think you're absolutely right here. I love the call that you said, dude, that if Anthony Richardson is in this game, I 100% agree. This line is at 6.5, 5.5. He's a real deal quarterback, no question about it. With not having a guy like that, he's in concussion protocol. I think that the Ravens here again look to make another statement piece that they're here to win, they're here to score. My question to you, Trilly, comes from, again, Baltimore's going to have a lot of rain going on. Where do you think Baltimore's going to score the most from, though? Like, I don't know if Zay Flowers makes a touchdown.
I think Andrews can get a tutty. I think
Zay Flowers does. I think it's off of a running play. Because we've shown to put him in the rush concept.
Yeah.
I think you get big point. I think that Lamar might get his first taste of the end zone this game as well.
He's due. He's due.
Hashtag they're due. We haven't said it in a while, but they're due.
First of the year, I think.
Hey, where's our weather?
We'll have to get to her. She's in mourning right now.
Fair enough. Go Cats.
Right.
Hey, friend of the show. All right, friend of the show.
Well, maybe I'll try to hit her up in between, but we'll see where we go from there. But yeah,
Friend of
you
the
you
show.
keep it rolling on your favorites or your overs.
All right, brother. Favorites and overs. I'm loving it. Listen, dude. I think that this game's really, really interesting right now because Miami here at -6.5, over under 47. They're at home. They're facing a Denver Broncos team where this isn't a must-win game for them. This is a can you keep yourself under control because of your nerves type of game. And if Miami can keep Tua safe from that Broncos defense, they could massacre this team, dude. They could they could have the biggest blowout because they're 2-0 right now. Is that correct? Miami's 2-0, right?
Yes.
I believe they are. Dude, they could massacre this. I don't know if this line is good enough at 6.5. Now I wonder, is everybody going to go that way? They're at home. You got to wonder about the hurricane, though. That's the only thing. They're definitely going to get weather. I don't like the points. I just like the money line. I don't know anything about the points. I don't know about the spread. I like Miami to win outright money line. With that bad weather, dude, I don't know if they're going to be able to
Miami.
score like that. Yeah, but I like them just to win, whether it's by 3 or whether it's by 6. I'm taking them just to win. I can't trust it, dude. They're in the prime time of getting the storm, dude.
Yeah.
I like them to just win this game outright.
I love Miami. I love them. I love them at the 6. Yeah, what we
You
were
do.
talking earlier. I just don't think this Denver team has really been able to figure out an identity with the new coach, scrambling with the quarterback. We don't know. They seem to have two very different personalities. And on the flip side of it, the defense has lost their identity from last year, at least through 2 weeks. So yeah, I like Miami straight up 100%.
Hunter.
Hunter.
What are you taking? Is that your take? Or are you taking Miami minus the 6.5? Is that your next fave or no? You're just saying it.
It was one of them that I
Okay.
was thinking about. Another one I was also thinking about. Yeah, what? I took the Ravens, and then I'll take Miami at the 6.5.
Okay.
No, because the minus 275 is tough on the money line.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But see, I'm telling you, dude, I feel that this is a game where Miami wins, but they only win it by 4. They only win it by 3. This storm is going to make that field hard to play. And remember, they don't have a dome. That grass is going to be wet.
Yeah, all right. I'm going to take the Seahawks then.
Okay.
5.5.
I like that.
Because the Panthers, without their quarterback, from what it seems like Friday afternoon when we're recording this, the Seahawks have the offensive weapons and the firepower to be able to run it up on this team.
100%.
If they want to be contenders in that division in the NFC, they have to be able to run it up against this team. And I think they can with DK, with Lockett. They took care of business in overtime last week against an up-and-coming team that everybody loved in the Detroit Lions. I'll take it. I'll take their points here. They should win by a touchdown.
So you're taking Detroit -3 as your last then?
No. Seahawks.
Okay, so I'm sorry. I thought that you were saying that you were going to go. I thought you were saying both games at the same time. Okay, you got one more to go, and so do I, brother.
I was flipping back to the
Yeah. You were hitting me with so many crossovers. I'm like, wait, whoa, it's all right.
In-depth analysis here. I know it can be a little much.
Mini stroke. You know what I'm saying? Mini stroke. We don't condone mini strokes. Onward. Who you taking?
I told you Seahawks minus.
I know you got one more. You got one more.
I thought you were gonna go. I'm trying to text Sierra
I'll go.
to find out the pick for the weather girl.
I'll go. Yeah, dude. I like the over in this Eagles game, man. I like the over big time. AJ got robbed last week in that Thursday night game.
He got robbed.
I think that Baker knows how to score with this Buccaneers team. They've kind of got some grit going on to them, which is very interesting. I can see them scoring. It's in Florida, over 46.5. The Storm would have passed. I think that Jalen, obviously, we know can score from the feet. The plays that the Eagles are calling are ridiculous. I think that Baker is going to be forced to air it out, and every once in a while he can get lucky. I like the over there, dude. I do.
With the Birds,
this game is tough though because it's in Florida.
Monday night though. I'm pretty sure it's all supposed to be gone by then.
Yeah, I'm taking the over. Eagles over.
In Florida, it should be gone by. Yeah,
Eagles over.
Yeah, I like it. What do we think moving forward in the next couple of weeks here about team totals and
It's
just
too much.
take too much? All right,
Too
much. All right,
too much.
Thought it was a thought. It was a thought.
It got shut down quick.
Yeah.
Shut down quick.
All right.
What's your next play, brother?
All right, fine. Yeah, that game's gonna come back when it comes towards locks, I think.
Yeah.
I don't love to say it, but this team has had the easiest schedule out the gate out of any team that I've ever seen in my life. And they do have a very talented team. They have a team that hasn't been challenged yet, a team that can stuff it, run, pass. We'll have to see with pass moving forward with the big injury happening this past week. But I'll take Dallas. The Cowgirls.
You're taking the points.
12.5.
Oh,
I don't think the Cardinals are that good. I think Dallas is the real deal. I think Dak's going to have to throw the ball this week, and I don't think the Cardinals are going to be able to stop it. If they try to run, it's going to be a low-scoring game, but I think Dallas is going to have to come out and start to prove that Dak Prescott can start moving the ball down the field again, and I think this is a big CeeDee Lamb game, and maybe you can get Brandon Cooks involved a little bit on a 70-yard touchdown play. This is right for Dallas hype moving forward.
Dallas
3-0.
100% agreed. Dallas hype. This is a Dallas hype train steroid booster. Yes. Where do you put Dallas right now in the rankings of the NFC? Who are the top 5 in the NFC right now? Eagles 1, 49ers 2.
Right as of right now of how they have played. Does who they've played take into account?
No, just off of what you think will be a playoff picture of who's going to have the most likelihood to get to that final game in the Super Bowl.
All right, so that's different. That's different. I love where the Eagles can go. Obviously. I love them.
Yeah,
I absolutely love them. And I
put them at 1.
The San Francisco 49ers are right there.
Clearly,
they are. They really are. I've seen some flaws that I think can be very much exploited, but they are a very good football team that are deep, just like how the Eagles are very flawed too. That being said, Dallas Cowgirls are a very far 3, and the rest of the NFC is way below that. That's kind of where I look at this right now. I think the Dallas Cowgirls losing Trayvon Diggs, they are built around 4 players. They are built around Dak Prescott, Micah Parsons, Trayvon Diggs, and Tony Pollard or CeeDee Lamb. You can flip either one of them. We'll give them 5, right? You lose one of them, right? You're down to the 4. We don't see where this team can really dominate on either side of the ball yet. It's only 2 weeks in, but I just see this team floundering where it has come up the most over the past 4 years with Mike McCarthy at the helm, with the defensive coordinator from the Seahawks. I forget his name at this point, but he's a bum too. I just don't see this team when it matters the most being able to make plays to get over the hump. And this is a huge injury with Trayvon Diggs. It is.
Oh, man, it's massive.
Not for the regular season.
Yeah,
but for the
playoffs.
For the playoffs, it's huge.
Yes. No, without a doubt agreed. Without a doubt agreed. Yes.
What's your last pick before we get to our locks and our parlay here?
Dude, my last one, it's hard right now, dude. Well, we're going to locks right now because I had the over. You were the last one. We got an earthquake with Baltimore -8.5. You're taking Seattle -5.5. I got Miami with the money, Dallas -12.5, and I got the over in the Philly Tampa Bay game in Tampa Bay. And dude, I wonder what you're going to think about this, but I'm going to tell you what my HTL is right now. I'm taking over 43.5. Monday night game, prime time. Rams versus Bengals in Cincinnati, dude. I think that Burrow here's got to score, and he's got to score big. He's got to make a show right now. People are doubting on his name. I don't want to touch the points. I want to touch the over. I want points in that game. And the Rams have also proven they'll give you a minimum of 10. They'll give you a minimum of 17, dude. Now, will they be able to do that for a third week in a row? I don't know. But do I like him for a solid 13 points to contribute? Yes, I do. And I think that Burrow here's got to score big. He's got to show that he can get it to Chase twice, that he can get it to Higgins twice, that he can get it to Boyd twice, that he can get his running backs involved. He's got to be diverse here. He's got to be aggressive here. Over 43.5. That's my lock.
Yeah, no, that's an earthquake.
That's
no, it's not my lock. It's not my lock.
Okay.
But I agree with you.
Well,
I was thinking about being my lock, not gonna lie. But I'm gonna hit an audible. Omaha set 4.5 Eagles Monday Night Football. We're gonna have locks both these games.
You have to. Out of respect to the Eag, out of respect to the Philly kid, you gotta give them.
The Eagles are winning this game by 17 points.
You think?
100%. Jalen is pissed off. They just ran the ball down the Vikings' throat. Now, Tampa Bay's got a better defensive line that might be able to stuff the run a little bit more, but they have no corners. They have no secondary. Just let Jalen hit AJ, hit Devontae, hit Dallas Goedert, hit Quez Watkins, hit Alameda Zacchaeus, hit DeAndre Swift.
That was crazy. That was a crazy name.
You don't know Alameda Zacchaeus?
No, but even for you, that was crazy. For you to hit me.
He's a St. Joe's prep guy. He's a Philly guy. You don't know his name?
I don't know his fucking name, dog.
Jesus.
All right, dude. We're at the end of the show now. Thank you so much for sticking with us. We're at 53%. We're going to have our graphics out Saturday night, Sunday morning. You know what to do. Prime in 53%. We're making you money. And now it's time for the
Hey, if you watched this show when it came out Friday, leave a comment. Say we're the Friday squad. We're subscribed. We love you all right now. Hit it in the comments.
Tell us that you're a long time listener, first time caller. And let me know what the fuck I was on the phone for. Business deals. Trilly, let's get into it. We both do 2 teams. We're changing up the look of the graphics. They're due. What are we doing here, brother? I think the first thing that we throw in, I'm just going to say it. I feel confident in it.
I think we go that over that Rams Bengals game.
I like that. I like that over. Yep.
That'll be the first. And that'll be a nice taste to have us hanging on to the edge of our seat again on a nice Monday Night Football game.
Dude, I like another over. I like over 48.5. Bears on the road to Kansas City. Kansas City's got to step up here, dude. Again, another team that I could see airing it out big time.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I think the Bears have had a wild week. We didn't talk about them at all. The defensive coach stepping away with all the speculations around him, crazy speculations, by the way, insane speculations.
Yeah.
They've released Nathan Peterman. They pick him back up in between all of that.
Yeah.
They try to hide a news stump. like what is going on there? There was equipment stolen from the stadium I saw today. That big cat
what
tweeted out. Yeah, there was like $100,000 worth of equipment stolen.
Shut up.
Yeah, look at Big Cat's tweet, bro. Like
that's crazy.
The Bears have had a wild week. They've had a wild week.
So maybe we don't touch that game then. Maybe there's bad juju there.
I think that then the quarterback's calling out his coaches, his coaching staff. Why are you looking robotic coaching? Yeah, I agree with him. Now, has some of that been out of context a little bit, maybe? But yeah, maybe we don't touch that. Let's kind of flip it here and let's move on. What do we think about a team? What do we think about a team like the? Do we like Detroit at all? Maybe, or do you think that game's?
This is my question, man. I didn't touch this during any of our bets because I wondered what you were going to say about this. You're kind of our Detroit insider, Detroit as you call them. Why are they only -3? You would think that they would at least be 4 to 5.
I think Dijon Mustard is
Dijon
getting a lot of
Mustard.
respect there. I think that team has gotten their defense is better than what people have expected for the most part. They haven't played great teams starting off the year 2-0 now. It's definitely interesting. This is where the territory where the Lions might be able to kind of set the tone for these teams that where that it might be a little bit of the up and comers where they kind of separate themselves here. I kind of like Detroit. Maybe we just go straight up money line there at 166, or do we
I like the money line. I like the money line, either that or I like doing an alternate spread and going crazy on them. I mean, dude, if we did an alternate spread, imagine we did Detroit minus. Imagine they win by a touchdown that's plus 152.
All right.
Minus 6.5. I love it.
All right. 6.5 there. And then that's our second pick, right?
That's our second pick. Yes.
And then we went over in the Bengals Rams.
Yep.
All right. Give us another one here.
I mean, I'll tell you, man, I like Baltimore here minus the 8.5.
I love it too. I mean, that was an earthquake.
And our earthquakes in there. Yeah. That's 3. And then, dude, I feel like the game that we got to throw in there out of respect. Miami's been with us this whole time, dude. I think that we got to do something with them, man.
What do we do? We do the 6.5, or do you the money line is no value?
I like the under in that game, under 47.5.
I just dropped my pen when you said the under. But all right.
Broncos scored big time last week. I don't think that they can do it again. Miami's here. They're in the prime of the storm. I think they win it. I don't think it's too crazy, though.
All right.
15. Let's see what it's in. 15 to win 253. Not a bad fucking day.
Not a bad day.
Not a bad day. And dude, we kept it to 4 F-bombs. Give me some, brother. Give me some. With 1:30 to go. God bless. We're here. We're packing. Let's just bring it through again. Obviously, the wager's always the small 15. Everybody's got it, but nobody's got it if you're on the street with a sign. Over 43.5. Rams. Cincinnati Monday night. Detroit alternate spread. You're getting plus money on it. Plus 152, minus 6.5. We got Baltimore minus the 8.5. That's the earthquake, baby. And under 47.5. Denver, Miami, Sunday. 15 to win 253.97. Round that to 254. You're having a good day and you're feeling good. We got less than a minute. God bless you. We love you. Stay tuned for next week in the graphics. Cold Ones conversations out. Go Ravens.
Hey, go Birds. All right. Hey, subscribe, follow all the platforms, Cold Ones, Harry, me. Hit it up, like it, comment, subscribe. Shout out 215. Go Birds.